I don't.
Is this enough for people to see in the back, or should we try to full screen it more? It's pretty good. Okay. So, we'll go get ahead and get started in 3 minutes, just because we have another full agenda today. Video on the other side. And I'm wondering, I just wanted to make sure that the things. Ah, okay. It didn't work, right? I think it was okay. I don't remember. I thought it was okay, but it was definitely on. It will be great. Yes. So, the plan is to have the video through the Zoom. I have her slide deck up for my screen, so I'll post that. We'll see. Just. Well, if we am actually going to throw captions, it's going to make it hard. So I'm going to bring my well, we do also have funding for a new computer. If anybody knows how to get rid of the annoying Glendale icon, stop. Feel free to share. Instead of me trying in I don't see. Oh, it's because I'm not sharing. I was sharing. So why is it showing? Oh, this is yours. Just turn this. Go back to it. Probably okay. I think it's the same. We'll see. I was disconnected right now. There's just an HDMI cable. Yeah. Okay. Okay, everybody. I guess I don't know if I really need this, but sure. Hopefully that is okay. If you can not hear me, let me know and I'll turn it up a little bit higher. Can everybody online hear me okay? Is there anybody online? Okay. All right. If you are, yeah. Good, good. If you can't hear me, you can visualize me. Um, uh, le tenemos en español también, sí, porque ahorita será puro inglés. Pero si quieres la transcripción está aquí, sin embargo. Okay. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the monthly public Glendale Neighborhood Council meeting. I'm the current chair of the Glendale Neighborhood Council. My name is Jennifer Madrigal. Um, this is a full meeting, so we're going to try to keep presentations to about 10-ish minutes, like max 15 if we can help it. Unfortunately, if you didn't get the notice, Chief Red is something came up. He's not going to be able to attend this meeting, but he has rescheduled for June when we're going to have a joint meeting with Poplar Grove. It will be here as well. So we're hoping that all of you come to that meeting in addition. So I think if I just next slide you. So this is our board. We have a full board this year, and I'm really excited to have this entire team doing some great stuff in the community. Everybody's really excited to help out and to try to support our community. We want to bring the information from the city and from different organizations and opportunities to Glendale residents so that you know what's going on. And we also want to take all of your concerns and funnel them up at the city level, at the state level, when applicable, so that you have a more power to your voice with a city recognized organization. Okay, so we're gonna get jump right into it. I think we're gonna have the fire department is going to go second after the neighborhood business improvement program. Is Cheyenne here? Okay, awesome. So if you want to come up and take it away with your presentation, we're all done. Hi, everybody. I am the grant administrator for the neighborhood business improvement program. I didn't actually bring a presentation, but I brought flyers and I'll leave them at the back so you guys can grab them. This program is a grant program for kind of small local businesses to improve the facade of their building, just to increase more foot traffic. We're accepting applications until the end of May. We do have a target area that Glendale is right in the middle of, so we'd love to get some more Glendale businesses involved in this program. We do facade improvements for like paint, windows, ADA improvements, which is a priority point. Murals are a priority point. But we can do signage, we can do lighting, security cameras, lots of sorts of things that will like help bring in more foot traffic, and which is what we're trying to do for these small businesses. We do this annually, and so you can apply every year. Applications are normally open in May, and we do have a scoring committee. So you apply, and then all the applications get reviewed and scored, and then awarded and then we can start the work in the winter and the spring. I don't have any other good stuff, but that's about it. Yes.
Question. Yeah. Do you do any improvement of the facade of small congregations, churches, or in the Nazarene Church, they are doing a small food bank? Does that fall into your category at all?
We don't do nonprofits. It has to be for-profit businesses.
Okay.
Yes. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that sums it up. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
But my contact information is on here and I'll leave these at the back. So if there's any questions, share with your friends, have them call me. I'm happy to help with applications over the next couple weeks.
How does the word get out? I saw it in the flyer. I thought I think it's terrific. I don't know what the reach is on the emails in the community. Because as I drive around, I certainly see some businesses that could use help. But I don't know if they're aware how well the advertising and the penetration goes. This is good stuff. But
yeah, we try as much as possible. We go to a lot of like just the Rose Park Festival, cabling at events. We try and do out social media or posts for the different places. A lot of council members will, if we're in their area, they'll send it out. I do take about 200 of these and I walk around handing them out to businesses and try and talk to people. Economic development in the city also advertises this program. I think the Community Reinvestment Act also advertises for the program. So, but the more advertisement we get, the better. But a lot of it's works now.
Any idea how many people in the Poplar Grove area and businesses have taken advantage of it?
I was looking into that. I think over the last 3 years between, and I was having a hard time. I'm pulling up on the city's website different neighborhood maps because they're all a little bit different overlaid, so I couldn't quite tell. But over the last 3 years, there was about 13 businesses between Poplar Grove and
So is this funded out of city funds then?
We are federally funded.
Federally.
Yep, it's community development block grant funding. So yeah, we do have to post it like on the UPS procurement website. It's an open bid process. So we do advertise it there to any general contractors that can bid on the projects. I think that's it. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. It's really cool. I know like Fisher Brewery is one of them, right? I can't remember off the top of my head, but they do a really good job. It looks really cool. Culture Coffee. Culture Coffee, yeah. Over in and which one? Agricultural Market, which is in Glendale. We just updated their entire facade. Oh, okay, cool. Is that Great Brad or Don Daniels? Glendale or the next neighborhood? We just finished projects over there too. Okay, I don't know the names, but okay, so let's have the firefighters come up and give their presentation. They often have to run, so
We're on fire.
yeah.
Hello, everybody. My name is Luke Maguire. I'm a firefighter out of Station 14, which is off of California and Bangor. For this newsletter, weather coming. A lot of people are headed out on e-bikes, e-scooters, and we just want to remind people to be safe, wear your safety gear, follow traffic laws, and especially young kids that are riding, we encourage them to have parental supervision. Um, some programs we have going on right now is the Wildland Urban Interface. That's just kind of preparing your homes for any wildfires that might come through. The program is called Ready, Set, Go. Just making sure your property is prepared in case there's a wildfire and being able to leave. We have 11 recruits that graduated in their stations this upcoming week. I recently graduated from Fire Academy. It's 15 weeks just learning how to deal with all the hazards that we, as the fire department, deal with. And then with the light going out and we're testing hydrants, but we're not flowing them due to water conservation. So that is all we have. Are there any questions?
Good questions for you. As we go around and we sell some cleanup stuff, we do some work in some alleyways. And alleyways tend to get to be overgrown pretty much. I wonder if anybody really kind of looks at that from the fire department perspective. If I trust the homeowner is supposed to be dealing with. See, I'm just curious if the fire department.
Well, the fire departments come out and we'll kind of evaluate homes, look for alleyways. I know we have a fire prevention bureau, and if you reach out to them, they'll be able to send somebody out, be able to handle that.
So somebody could come out and evaluate property.
For wildfires, like your preparedness level.
Live right on the Jordan Parkway Trail.
I think that's another question. Our prevention bureau as well. If you go to the website, there'll be a link. So you're asking if there'll be home assessments here in your area? So generally speaking, it's for the urban wildland interface. So up in the avenues along the East Bench, where there's more of a wildland fire hazard, trying to create fire breaks. Obviously, down here through the neighborhoods, there are some very risky areas, you could say, especially with some of the homeless encampments. So, if you wanted to request one, they might consider that. Just go to our website and go to the Ready, Set, Go program and request one. Say it's not as common down here on the valley floor. It's really kind of geared for the urban interface, but I don't think they'd turn you down if you'd like to have someone come out and just evaluate your yard and what you can do to make it more fire safe.
Thank you.
One question. So there was a recent fire on California Avenue. were you dealing with that? Can you tell us anything about, was that an empty vacant home?
Oh, that was you guys. That was just last step.
Yeah, it wasn't here. Yeah, we can sell it pretty quick, so, on the inside, there was some abandoned help with people that were. Not at the time that we arrived, there's like, on the side.
Okay.
So, your fire hydrants, you test them once a year?
Huh?
Is that correct?
Yes.
I live in 1403 Van Buren, and every time they do that, our water breaks.
The water main,
Yeah,
out on the street.
yeah, all the neighbors all around it, all of them are starting to break down.
Yeah,
And,
a lot of that's coincidental, but you're right. There's definitely a correlation between
you guys want to come put out a fire. You need to use water.
Yeah.
I'm an ex-firefighter myself,
Yeah.
and they've been right next to my home at 1995, and cutting the house down. A roof and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I try to explain to them, this is what happens every year. They go out and try to test it, and then we have water problems all around Van.
This year we're not.
Our water is shut off for 3, 4 days, 5 days at a time.
Shut up.
So what they do is they test the fire hydrants, what they're supposed to do every year. So when they do that, that main line can't hold all that pressure. And it bursts, breaks. They can't do it the normal way they should be able to show the pressure and show. So if there's really a fire there, these guys are going to be fighting that water.
We're not gonna test them.
If there's a problem with the water, you can report it to the.
Not only that, they're putting 14 units right next to my home. For more water. Our water supply is going to go down.
We can take your address down and go test that, make sure it has water. So this year we weren't flowing water due to the
Water broke last year.
normally we would.
There's a couple others that broke right next to us.
When you say broke, we break in the city or inside?
That line is still old, rusty.
They can't handle the pressure or the pressure breaks those.
Breaks the line.
So maybe we could take that up with the city. I don't know if my SLC is the right avenue, or if we could just specifically talk to the department that handles water. But we can definitely take that down if it's an issue, if it's something that needs to be addressed. Streets, I think that somebody should be aware of.
Any water main breaks are quickly dealt with. The city will come out. Community citizens report it. We come out, investigate it, bring the city water department out. And if there's a water main break, they're on it within the hour, cleaning up street.
I thought they'd say something now. Later on, you guys, fight fires without water.
Yeah, we don't want that.
So,
Any other questions? Congratulations on graduating.
Thank you. Great.
I do work, but I don't remember the number checking that little one. Of course, I don't want anyone. Yeah.
We can do.
We do it at different times of the day, depending on the weather, the traffic.
so if they're coming, let's save some lives.
All right.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay, so now back to our regularly scheduled programming. We have Spy Hawk here, Steve William, and also Kitsa Rodriguez. They're going to give a presentation about their organization. Thank you for having us. Kitsa.
And Steve,
So I will kind of explain what Spyhawk is. and then Steve will explain what the Central Mind Youth Coalition is. But you can go to the next slide. So Spy Hub is a youth media arts center and nonprofit organization based in Salt Lake. It's just on 9th South and 2nd West, our building. But the mission is to mentor young people in the media arts to help them find their voice, tell their stories, and affect positive change in their lives, communities, and the world. We've been around for 27 years now, and we serve over 10,000 students a year. Age range is really like 3rd grade to maybe like college, sophomore, the oldest. And then, yeah, next one. So the reason it's called Spy Hop is because it is the act in which a dolphin or a whale rises above the water in order to navigate its surroundings and find its pod. So that's what Spy Hop's for. It's to help young people find their communities, tune in to like what's going on in the world, and figure out how to kind of take hold of that and be a part of that. And then program offerings. So at our building on 900 South and 200 West, it's right in front of a track station, right next to a bus station. And we have completely free creative programs for teenagers year round. So any teenagers you know who are interested in the creative arts, film, music, audio, and design are our main kind of core subjects. That includes things like game design, system design, radio, stuff. Again, all our classes are free. They range from like 1 day to a full year, depending on the kid's commitment level. All skills, abilities, and goals are welcome. I was a student like 10 years ago at another location before they got their big building. And that kickstarted me a career in live music. So I did sound for bands at venues in Salt Lake, and it was the best time. Now I'm back at Sky Hall. And class sizes are small, hands-on, project-based learning, using state-of-the-art gear, all provided by us, and all of the teachers are creative professionals in their fields. We also have spring and summer camps for ages 8 to 11, but those are paid. Those help give us the ability to have free programs for the teens. And then we also work all around the state and in the community. So we partner with a lot of local organizations or organizations anywhere in the state to host workshops, like this filmmaking workshop in Monument Valley. We also work with schools through the POPS program that's funded by the Utah State Board of Education. And we do free workshops and assemblies in schools. And then we have some other offerings like Phase 2 Productions, which is our film alumni who they kind of age out of the free classes. We get them paid working film gigs. And they produce professional grade videos for different organizations and clients. And then we also have the Central 9th Youth Coalition. So I'll pass it along to Steve for an explain that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm Steve. I'm a retired English teacher and school director, and I had worked with Spy Hop and at our school, and just loved what they did with students. And so when I sort of decided I was going to make a sort of move into my second chapter of life, this job came open. So my job at Spy Hop is to manage a coalition that is really built around youth development and particularly around substance use prevention. We're not trying to promote substance use. We are trying to so coalition, we're called the Central 9th Youth Coalition. That's a little bit of a misnomer. The coalition, the Youth Coalition, is a group of adults. We also have a youth council that are students from Glendale, from East High that come together every week over at Spy Hop, and we are working right now on an anti-vaping campaign they came up with. And they came up with a slogan. This is the kids. Their slogan is choose your health, not their wealth. We kind of really like that. And so the kids have presented over at Glendale to a Mother's Care Fair, and they're hoping for opportunities over the summer to present to other adult groups. So if any of you have a group of people you would like to have an anti-vaping presentation done for, our students are ready to do that. I wanted to just show you something. So we have a short 2-minute video that was actually a production made by two of Spy Hop's range. Their phase 2, which is, as Kitsy mentioned, a group of sort of older, they've phased out of Spy Hop's classroom and they're ready for work in the field. They're a video production company, and they made a video that has a prevention theme to it. So it's called Orange Soda, and it really captures, I think, the way our Central Ninth Youth Coalition looks at the concept of prevention, which is not the one maybe you grew up with, which is don't do drugs or say no to drugs. That is not sustainable or even a successful model, even though probably a lot of you remember it. We try to focus upstream and get ahead of the problem through focusing on risk and protective factors and finding ways to support kids before they get to the point where they're facing a decision. So enjoy this fantastic video made by Phase 2 students, Spy Hop students, and it's called Orange Soda. Yes.
Three, two, one. Switch.
So you'll make me host.
It's going to be amazing.
Uh, we could try just having the speaker through yours.
The mic by the speaker.
I don't think the mic is working.
That's just.
Just a few technical. Wonder if it's working or not.
It's working.
It is. Oh, you can bring it here.
Thank you.
So we've only started doing a Zoom plus in-person version of our meetings in January, so we're still working through some kinks. I am also planning on
Hello?
Choices come along the way. Our choices are all around us. It's those really positive friendships that here to stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great life. So if any of you are interested in coming to a coalition meeting, checking us out, maybe possibly joining the coalition, there's a few of these cards in the back on the table. My email address is steve@spyhop.org. It's super easy. You can email me and I keep in touch with us and I give you a calendar and join us. I'm not sure what the rest of the slides are to memorize, but that kind of describes what I said. Our mission and vision. We were able to take some of our kids to Washington, D.C. this January through a grant. And we sat at a table where one of our ninth grade students from East High, Glendale residents, sat with John Curtis and asked him directly the question of why her school didn't have the things that some of the schools of her friends did. And so giving kids opportunities to sit at the table with elected officials and ask hard questions and engage in that process is so important. So we're very we just feel I think fortunate to be able to work with them and have fun with them. And like I said, we are looking for audiences to present our anti-vaping message to. So if you are one of those or know someone, please.
Is the anti-vaping presentation meant for adult groups or meant for?
We can adapt it. We gave it to a group of others last Friday over at the Glendale Community Center. But we could very easily adapt it to young people, to teens. I mean, they're kids. They're ready to talk to their peers about it as well. So
yeah,
we'd love to.
And is that only over the summer?
We have this group of kids until the end of, say, the end of August. I think they're with us, and so we've got some time. And like I said, we meet weekly. We could do it during that time, or we could schedule it for a time that fits your schedule. Yes.
How long is your presentation?
It's about 15 or 20 minutes. It does involve some sort of crowd interaction that, I think the time frame on the mother's presentation was about 30 minutes total with questions and the kind of role playing that they did. So, yeah.
So if we want you to come, we would like do a youth night once a month. We could actually maybe come make a presentation there.
Absolutely.
Because this affects all the kids.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Yeah, that's a great
We'd
idea.
love to do that. Let's talk.
I do, real serious.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, brother, I have a quick question for you. This kid you just mentioned about used to hide. Is this kid coming from the west side?
They're all west side kids. They attend Glendale. They are eighth and ninth graders this year. We take up to 10th grade, but once they hit 10th, they get really busy with life, jobs, and stuff like that. So we think eighth and ninth graders are really a good age group to work with in terms of having time to come and commit to.
So my question is this, because always, our community going to this Glendale to the outside. So we need to keep our kids, that's why I'm working very hard to get high school in Glendale. I wish I could by tomorrow with you, but I'm really, retired of rather, because even my own kids now they're going to Ames High School from here to Pastor all the way up.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we need to have, because when I drive all the way down, you see flag of East High. And then how many kids going from here to the outside of boundary, and some of the families, they have a challenge, some they have emergency, they cannot go straight to, they're calling us and saying it's going on,
Yeah, we've had that very conversation with our students and with members of the school district and the city, and there's a lot of interest in that. I'm sure there's obstacles that I'm not aware of, but that's hope that many of us have.
Just one more thing that I'm thinking. I believe that SciHop is on the 9 bus line.
We are on the 9 bus.
So that is, we don't have a lot of public transport in Glendale, but we do have the 9 bus that goes through and runs every 15 minutes. And so it facilitates getting students there, especially if they do attend East, which a lot of them do take the public transport.
Yeah. Our kids, I mean, all our kids take the bus to get.
Do you have one more question?
I don't have any kids, but the kids that live around me all go to Highland. Is there any way to get those kids involved in some way?
Perhaps, yeah. Right now, our coalition is sort of it's our area, but we are in conversations right now with people who fund us, which are the public health department, who expand into the city a little bit. So
Yeah, I'm in Glendale, but all our kids on the east side of the river go to the Highlands.
and then West, do any of you have kids or families in your neighborhood? Keeps children attend West Side.
Yes, there's some kids that go west. I love my kids.
Yeah, I think
But
we
it's
have
very sad. And then one of the things, brother, this only location you guys have it, or you guys have only?
Yeah, that's our only physical location. Kids here mentioned we go into the schools, we do assemblies, we do classes, we do after school programs in schools, strictly in Grand.
Here too, you should the library. If any of you are involved with any organizations that serve youth, we're trying to talk about collaborating as well.
Yeah, we have another facility on right 1578 West, 1700 South, University of Utah Neighborhood Learnership Center. We have over 40 kids, after school program.
Are you talking about UNP?
Yeah, UNB.
We actually.
Yeah, so we have a lot. Sometimes the parents don't have a car if they want to go there, so it's kind of very challenging. But they use it. Yes.
Yes, yeah, I think that was a conversation. It's like figure out how to take you of it. That's in the works. We're trying to.
You guys have a car and a bus.
We'll figure
Taking
it out.
kids. That would be help. I would say,
Thank you for your questions and check out Spike Up. Yeah, spikeUp.org if you want. For classes and registration time. These classes are all free.
Yeah, and it's just a fun place for kids to be after school or in the summer. They don't have to need to, want to do that as a career. They can just come make friends, be creative.
Okay, thank you so much for coming. And then I just want to also give a shout out. So they are we're doing something new this year. It's a business highlight every month. So they are our business highlight for the month. If you have a business in Glendale that you would like to send to us to try to highlight during our meetings, please send it. You can go on our website. You can email me, share@glendaleslc.org. We're happy to try to promote businesses inside. So next we're going to have a presentation by My Hometown. And I thought, or is everybody coming up? Okay.
Yeah, well, my wife and I will make a presentation. We're handing out right now our year-end reports, kind of give a summary of what we've done this last year. Just to give you some more perspective, we're going to go through kind of like my hometown. It was nice to see Jennifer when we were at the coalition, meeting Westside Coalition, and nice to meet her and the cute little boys. Anyway, so what we're going to do is kind of give you a general view of what my hometown's about, why that's important for you and for your kids. Steve, I was very interested in talking a little more detail because that's a challenge that all our kids have to deal with. So
We have a youth in action gathering that we're going to talk about that we would love you to make a presentation there for. And thank you. Also, right up here, we're going to come to this, but in English and in Spanish, we have this handout that talks about the day of service for the whole community, but we will actually, you know what, I'm going to just start passing those out. And you can just, if you can, I know there's some big gaps, but try and get them to the next person. We are so glad to be here. Scott and Stana Care, and we're executive directors of my hometown in Glendale and Poplar Grove. And we are so excited to be part of this. And we will have this position for 3 years. So you'll see a bunch of us, and we are so excited. Bob Babcock is an elite member of my hometown because he's been in this area for a long time, and he knows more than all of the rest of us put together. And so we are so thankful. We're giving you the 20. Yes, my goodness. Absolutely. We just passed out to you the 2025 summary synopsis of what my hometown did in our area, in this area last year. And so you can kind of glance at that, but we're gonna quickly, oh, this is not good. I put it right in the way. Okay, this is the logo. MB Pro. And this is the logo that you will see around. We just wanted to make you acquainted with that. And my hometown representatives will all wear those. We'll all wear the lanyard with the logo on it. Oh, here we go. Okay. No, that's the last one. Yeah, just go to the. We're going to quickly we're just going to quickly go through. We're not going to read everything that's in your handout, but we're going to quickly go through what we have. And then you can just make it one screen and make it bigger. But whatever. I'm just going to start with this wonderful quote that I love. We are all connected, and we have a God-given responsibility to help make life better for those around us. We don't have to be alike or look alike to have love for each other. We don't even have to agree with each other to love each other. If we have any hope of reclaiming the sense of humanity for which we yearn, it must begin with each of us, one person at a time. I love that quote. And that we are going to just present the different arms and the ways that my hometown tries to reach out to lift and strengthen the area. There are 3 hometown areas in the west side. One is on the that is a Rose Park area, and that's called the Northwest, my hometown. At the Glendale and Poplar Grove area is the west side. It's just called Salt Lake City West Side, my hometown. And then there's Central, my hometown Central, which is south of us and goes a little bit more east. So there are 3 different areas, but we're going to talk about just what happens in this side basically tonight. There are several areas. You got there, Dad?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
No, she calls me Dad.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay, is this our number 1? Is this number 1? Okay. Was that the very first?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go very quickly. One of the things we do is we tutor reading in all of the elementaries in the area. We have a director in each of the Franklin, Parkview, and Mountain View elementaries. And we have over 40 tutors that go in and help children get a higher reading level, because as you all know, until their reading goes up, it's hard across the board for them to increase. So the tutoring goes on in all of those elementaries, and we have directors in each of those staffing that. Next. And we just helped with the Halloween fair at the schools. So they say, oh, my hometown, we need some volunteers to help us pull this off. And we call everybody, whoever volunteers, and we would love any of you to help join us. We would love any of you to come and join us on any of these things. We call and get volunteers there to help the community. Next. Yeah, you know this shows.
I don't know. I have
okay.
Screens also.
We're amateur at this. So you didn't have to go with it.
It's showing the fantasy on my screen.
Just because they didn't have to go with it. All right, here we go. We love the Utah Food Bank, as you probably know. Every other week comes on Wednesday at 3:00 to 5 in the parking lot of the Cannon Steak Center. And it's for anyone, and you're not vetted. You write your name down, but it doesn't matter really if you're in our area or not. Yes.
Is this the one that's on 900 West?
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Next door to Park.
Yes. And yes, I encourage all of you, and spread the word with your neighbors to be there, to show up, because you don't even get out of your car. There's a long line that people line up a long line, but it moves. When it starts at 3, it moves and you separate into 2 lines with exactly the same food. And so you separate into 2 lines, you just drive by with your trunk open or the back door open and food, and they just put the food in there. Comes from Utah Food Bank, and it's organized kind of as you see here. We have a lot more pictures, but you don't have time to see them all. Anyway, love this. We love this, and it's every 2 weeks. Please go. Please encourage everyone to go.
Well, it's
Next.
2 weeks a month. I mean, so good.
2 weeks a month. Well, this just shows you. Okay, you don't need me to see that. That just shows you how we first page of how we schedule our volunteers to be there to help facilitate that. Okay. We also have CRC classes and that means Community Resource Center. And that is at 934 Fremont Avenue. And the CRC is just the short for the Community Resource Center. There we teach. I was going to get Steve to come and help us teach some of our English classes in the evening, because we teach English as a second language. We teach free, all of it's free. Free sewing classes, free piano classes, free ukulele classes. They're starting free guitar lessons. And we have classes like, let's start, what's your first name? Marlene came to our sourdough class. We have some one-night classes, like how to winterize your car, how to get ready for your garden. This year we already had that one, and the sourdough bread making was a great class. All of them. Anyway, those also, and then we also had some computer classes. We all advertise in Spanish as well. But okay, we're just going to go on. We have those advertised, and this is the same thing, Daddy. Oh, this is what that just shows. At the end of every semester, it goes January to April, August to November, and those are the semesters. And there's always a recital at the end, and they show all their sewing projects, and it's amazing. It is when we had 68 piano students, and we have 7 pianos in that facility, and right there on Fremont Avenue. I tell you, and they're all free classes. So wow, I tell you, if you have a friend or a neighbor, and they're all ages. These are not just children that show up. You saw some adults there. Okay, Dad, go on. Just sewing project. Oh, with the ukulele, the piano, and the sewing. If they come consistently and they don't even really have to get to a certain level, but they come consistently and are and show up to the classes, then we have businesses that will give them a free sewing machine, a free ukulele, and a keyboard at the end. But they have to come consistently to be serious. But we have businesses that will donate that, and right now we're ordering all of those for the year starting in August. So anyway, and great. Okay, this just showed our advertising, our sourdough bread class. That was really successful. Daddy, go ahead. Okay, this is the Youth in Action we were talking about. Once a month on Thursday night at 6:30, we invite. This is non-denominational. Any youth can come to this, and Dad, go ahead, Dad. I'm going to show some of the activities. In January. And we always have refreshments, or we always have pizza or something. There's always things to eat. All right, but all of the youth come, and in January we did quilts for Primary Children's Hospital. They tied them all. Next, the next one, we had great big 9 square and table games, and they all used the table. Some sat at the table. They were all over the place, and the biggest gym I have ever seen. And so it houses a lot. Minute to Win It games the next month in March. That was a riot. There we go. Here they all are going to do the Minute to Win It around. And these kids, of course, when they show up, they don't know everyone. So that's why it is open for anyone. A very, very great place for them to show up. Very safe. Okay. And then they showed up, the stand-up movie, the Ben Care story. And he came and did a Q&A after. So they watched the movie. Yes. Oh, yeah. Here he was. They had a thing, and he was taking pictures with all the youth that wanted to come and get a picture with them. Next.
Wait a minute. Whose son is it?
It happens to be our boy, our son. So we weren't going to mention that, but oh well. Okay. All right. Okay. This just shows you for the rest of the year the Youth in Action, which we would love to have that presentation for, because they're gathering all of these kids. Shows you what's coming up, and everyone's invited to this. So the 18th of June, 20th of August, 17th of September, October 15th, November 19th. It shows you what is already planned once a month, and it is funded by some charitable donations and whatever. A great, very safe place for youth to be together. And they love to meet a bigger group of people. So, oh boy, huge. And we would want you to take advantage of that. The next one you can tell that's coming up and circle that is June 18th, and it's a big barbecue in the park, Jordan Park Pavilion. You all know where that is? Not quite sure, but that's where it's going to be at 6:30, and it's a big barbecue. And so they just show up. They can bring their friends and come. I'm sorry, what? Was it the 18th? Yeah, June 18th, 6:30. And they always have some fun games on the lawn. I mean, it's a good time. Amazing directors. There are directors that do that. That's all they do is the youth program. Yes. Okay, we're just going to finish with this. Go. Now you're talking about the DOS.
Yeah, now we have days of service. We have
That's what that acronym is.
We had this. We're privileged to have Bob Babcock here. He arranged with all these people, all these companies to come, on the corner of 9th and 4th South, where that old
buildings
used to be. He arranged with all these people with the Salvation Army. He arranged with all these people to come and demolish all that, to take all that.
Clean up that whole area.
Corner. So now we have the corner clean, and now they're looking for all the other alternatives.
For the Salvation Army. Yeah. The Salvation Army.
Yeah, and we have Bob to thank for that because he's the world famous best construction lawyer in town.
That's right.
And he knows all these people, and he was able to pull them together.
Is it returned yet?
Yes. No. Yeah. So and they got published in the Utah Business, talked about all these people working together, Wiggle Machinery, the caterpillars and all that stuff. All these people work together to make that happen.
That's right. That was an awesome project.
And so they showed the firemen were up back.
And it looks. Everyone notice how good it looks. That whole corner is so cleaned up.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Okay.
Okay. And this is what we use. Now we're going to get into our projects. If you have neighbors that need something help done in their yard that we can help with, we do a day of service once a month. You just need to get one of these and you can fill it out. We'll basically vet the projects, and every month we have people. We have probably 100 people show up from all around the valley to come that we've assigned that have volunteered to come.
And we would love you to join us. We need your help.
We can use anybody.
All it is 2 hours on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
The same place, the same once a month. There's the dates. I think you have the handout, and there's the dates for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Next, and we do it in both languages. Okay. Well, we did the Salvation Army. We got on one of our days of service. We all showed up and helped them paint their building.
Painted it.
Okay. About 2 weeks ago, we met with the Larry Miller, and we kind of helped them put together this activity where they went and cleaned out the Jordan River.
It was his birthday, and so he has all his employees.
100 people show up.
Do a service project every year.
The Parks Department came with 10 canoes, and we put it in there. Saying to myself, my people go in that river because if they tip over, none of them tipped over. And look what they brought back in their canoes.
So those men jumped in to get. There were grocery carts buried in that, and scooters. The city scooters buried in that water. And I'm not kidding.
So all these people.
All the stuff that they've got out of the water.
Go to the next regard. See, they're pulling them out of there. Well, let's stop, and then.
But they had so much fun. They were just.
So here's
smiling ear to ear.
Look what we put in that dumpster. We filled that dumpster.
Yeah.
This is only part.
That's only part of it.
We filled that dumpster with all the stuff. Now we do daily service projects. Just 3 weeks ago, we did this lady's house. She's in one of those little trikes, whatever.
Electric wheelchair.
Yeah, electrical chair. She's older now. She had the accumulated. She's in husband's bedroom, Trudy, and she's a pastor in one of the other churches here in town. She had her own little group of Sunday school class. It was so cute. We gave her a bunch of stuff to take to her class. But
it shows you the team that showed up.
This is the team that showed up to clean all this stuff up. They mowed her lawn out here, and then we filled this dumpster with all this stuff that they'd accumulated in her backyard. She was so happy just to see this happen. So if you know anybody that has any needs like this, we're up for it. We have people volunteering, always wanting to help.
Do you see the wheelchair ramp right there? Yeah. Wheelchair ramp on that was built for them on that property.
Also, and then this just shows a bunch of stuff, cleaning and hauling away, working together.
We invite everybody to come. You'll see where we retrofitted. The lady needed a walk-in shower. We cleaned alleyways. We worked in the parks last year too. And then we also just did a bunch of stuff together. Next one. Okay, this was one of those foundations that was filled full of stuff. And so they all showed up.
And the city owns
The
this.
city owns
And yeah,
foundation.
they told us.
They
we
had
really
people,
need
they
this
had
stuff.
people camping there or whatever. So we all came in, pushed all that out, and got off.
Thursday after.
So that was what we did in that one day. Go ahead. Okay, just 2 weeks ago, we painted this house. We came to the lady, said she needed her house painted. She picked the colors.
It all
And we had
before.
And we had all our people who showed up. We had
Painted her house.
They spent about 3 hours, but there were 4 or 5 people there painting her house. It was she loved it so much. She's able to pick her trim and all that stuff. And also we got the paint company to donate all of their paint.
It's more than 4 or 5 people. She had that team there.
Yeah, there's a bunch there.
Okay. Now the Now Project, you just need to understand what that is.
I probably won't talk about
And we're at the end of our presentation.
She had been without furnace and AC for 5 years. And we finally found out about that. And we were able to contact a HVAC contractor who was able to get the furnace donated. And then we got another donor who was able to pay for about $5,000-6,000 to put the rest of the system in. And so now she has a brand new furnace and a brand new air conditioner that she didn't have before. Also, we do a lot of water heaters. We have people on the job that are plumbers, who are carpenters, things like people who just want to serve, want to help. Okay, next one. Oh,
it's moving.
Just this on, when you see.
Yep, it's moving on its own.
This is the letter.
We're over. We're done.
The letter we got.
It's just moving.
Okay.
It's on the slideshow, I guess.
This is the cutest letter we got from Lisa. Thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it. You'll never ever know how it was. Your time and effort are valuable. Your service is Christ-like. I'm humbled by your help. So all our people who work, they love to help people, and we're here to help them build the neighborhood. Yes, sir.
Yeah, but thank you very much for doing in the community. It's wonderful. But my question is this: I emailed you guys last month. I never get any response. I asked it like to paint it my office, which is gonna be like 11 months out.
Okay.
And then we're going to.
Would you stay after? Let's talk. Make sure you get taken care of.
No, it's okay. That's why I'm just asking. I'm just telling you.
Well, I want to know what email you sent it to. I want to make sure you got the right email, right?
So then.
But you sent it to that one?
Yeah, I just.
Okay.
So,
Probably in the works.
Yeah, it's probably Val Hicken is probably. But let's get your number after. Let's get your number.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Okay.
So all we need from you is, if you ever want to join a day of service project for 2 hours on a Saturday morning, then you got our card. You call us. It is so much fun. And the other thing is, we need projects. So please let us know. You got the numbers. Thank you.
I did all the project I needed. I submitted, but the number was fine.
Well, yeah, we've got it. And he never called you either?
Well, we'll be on top of it.
Well, is your office out of our area?
It's kind of.
It's in Glendale. Okay, we'll get on it.
All right. So
Position back. Yeah.
that's fine. So let's, before I forget again, our secretary, Billy Palmer, has brought some snacks. So feel free, while we're doing presentations, to go wander around back there, grab drink, snack, whatever's back there. And I think we're moving on. We don't have a presentation up yet, but do you have a presentation? I don't have a presentation. I figure there's 50 words to get into. So now we're going to have she is with District 2 UDOT, and she's graciously agreed to come to our Glendale Neighborhood Council meeting to discuss some of the things that are going on with changes in transportation and safety measures now that we've had some of SB 242 passed, and we have a little bit of extra collaboration that we are going to need to use going forward for any additional safety traffic flow measures. So, So as Jennifer said, I'm Lisa Sundell. I am the Deputy Director at UDOT Region 2. UDOT Region 2 covers Tooele, Salt Lake, and Summit counties, so kind of the heart of the state, particularly the urbanized area. Recently, in the 2026 legislative session, Senate Bill 242 was passed. This is a follow-up to a Senate bill that happened in the 2025 session, where UDOT and Salt Lake City were asked to look at the roads in Salt Lake City and the effectiveness of some of the projects that have happened within the city. We did that study from June to October of 2025. And then in 2026, as I mentioned, there was some additional legislation passed that asked UDOT and the city to enter into an agreement and put in place a tiered road system for projects that were going to be beneficial on certain roads within the city. That tiered system is mostly what I want to talk about because I think it's what really is most interesting to the community. The tiered system, a tier 1 road, that's your roads like Redwood Road, State Street, 700 East, 5th and 6th South, some of the major roads within the city. Like those roads are, most of them state roads that meant to carry traffic, not only within the city, but regionally throughout the area. And then a tier 2 road is kind of a cross-city road or other, what we call a minor arterial major collector street that carries a little bit more traffic. And then a tier 3 road is those smaller streets, smaller collector streets that get people kind of through their neighborhoods, but not the immediate streets that the homes are on. And then the tier 4 roads are the more neighborhood streets, like the street that I came in from 17 South to get here. So tier 1 roads, they're meant to carry traffic, as I said, regionally. The tier 2 road and projects are going to be restricted to safety improvements along those routes. Tier 2 roads, other projects can be done within the city, and in coordination with UDOT and with some oversight from UDOT. Tier 3 roads, the city is required to do some study and engagement with the communities before a project is done on those roads. And then tier 4 roads, the city is welcome to do what they would like on those roadways. Within the Glendale I know 17 South is 24 South in Glendale, California, 9th West, Redwood Road. Those are the roads. So the study that we did back in 2025 only had a study east of I-15, but in the 2026 legislative session, they did add some streets to this tiered system west of I-15, between I-15 and Redwood Road. And so most of the roads west of I-15 that got added to this system are tier 2 streets because we didn't do any study on those roadways as part of the study that was done in 2025. And so we felt like before projects were done on those streets, some study and engagement needed to be done with the community. But with the one exception of that is Redwood Road, because the state does control Redwood Road. So it is a tier 1 street. But even on Redwood Road, I don't think you don't go as far north as 8th North, right? No. Okay.
Goes to it. Yeah.
It's south. Okay. But so even on Redwood Road, UDOT is looking right now to do a pedestrian crossing at 850 North because we've noticed a lot of jaywalking in that area and we want to make crossings safe for the pedestrians in that area. So even on tier 1 roads, we are looking at appropriate safety improvements. Okay, let's talk specifically about this location. I knew you'd want to. So recently, there's the crossing here between 13th West and Clayton. And then there's a proposed crossing over here by Concord. And I do know that there was a serious incident that happened there at Concord recently. And UDOT in coordination with the city, because 17 South is currently being looked at to be a tier 2 street. We haven't, just so you know, we haven't finalized that map with the city. We're working on that process right now. 17 South is currently called out to be a tier 2 street. So UDOT is coordinating with the city on what improvements can be made to the street. We have determined that a crossing near Concord is appropriate for this area, especially with the development of the new Glendale Regional Park.
and the use of that with this neighborhood. We're talking about the appropriateness of where that crossing should be. With the new, and I want to say the new parking lot kind of sits right here. With that new parking lot, the city has told me that that parking lot is overflow for the part that's here to the north as well. And so we want to make sure that the new crossing is placed in an area where it not only serves the neighborhood and here near Concord, but is able to provide appropriate crossing from that parking lot to the park to the north. So we're having conversations of what that crossing and the appropriateness of that crossing looks like. With that, questions, concerns? Yes.
I don't know what crossing you're planning on doing, but I will say these flashing light cross warnings do not work well when the sun is in. You cannot even see their flashing. So I think that sometimes just see them.
West Road too, so
Exactly on night class. They'll just fly right through there because they can't. It's that's more dangerous than not having that light there.
Well, and I do, so the city would ultimately make the decision on what type of crossing because it would be their funds. It was paying for it. So the current crossing here between the 13th and Clayton, that is currently being upgraded to the ones with the red light. I believe the one that would go east of Concord is going to start off with just the flashers like this one has been in the past, because that is a less expensive option for the city to get in more immediately. But in talking with the city, their plans are to upgrade at some point to the ones with the red lights, like this one is being upgraded to red.
1700. Very easy. Very fast.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Mhm.
I just want to add like something. I think also my sister what I invited last time. Before that, like the last 2 years or before 2 years, like 3 years maybe, we have a business on 1151 South on Railroad Road.
Okay.
On the other side, there is right now there's a new apartment, and then people want to cross to the business or when they want to do something, but it's kind of like very tough. Sometimes what I saw, some people want to cross and the police giving their citations, walk,
Right.
and then it's too far. If they want to go to 1300 South California Road, and then you have to come back to the business 11. So it's like long walk. So I was thinking about, yes, have anything to do to cut maybe walk, what's called crosswalk, make this light, and people can have access to cross the piece. That's not.
It's really look into that. So like I said, Redwood Road is overseen by the state, so that's we can certainly look at that. I don't know how recently we've done a study in that area, so it's certainly something that I can have my traffic and safety folks look into.
Yeah, thank you. That's very important. We just appreciate it because I know that Redwood Road is one of the most dangerous roads in the entire state.
And there's a lot more housing along there now.
Yeah, there's lots of places I studied, lots of dangerous.
Go here and then we'll go over here.
Point of clarification, so 1700 South is a tier 1 or a tier 2?
Tier 2. And like I said, that map is not finalized, so that all of that is subject to change as we work with the city to determine the final tiers, but that is currently what it's sitting at.
Yeah. All right. 17th South. Okay. I requested to have a light on Stetson Avenue, which is about 1375, right across from the People Court and the tennis court. Okay, there is a business doing right now. Let's go over there. It's family. A lot of people playing pickleball and tennis. So we need something safe, but then rough, from its parent. So I like to see a coastline or whatever from Stetson
to the tennis court and field court. Because you go there every single day, that place is.
We're Glendale 17th to get here tonight.
So fun to see our kids, especially our children, is safe. See what happened to Concord soon? Yeah. I want to see because I am there every single day, guys, on 17th side. Yes. We need to see a light over there to keep our people safe. And you can stroll with them sometimes and mingle with them. How are you? Yeah. So go over there and mingle with them and talk with them and make sure they are happy to see us turn them the best in the world. Right? Very good. Thank you.
It's just across from the pickleball court. So right here. Okay.
So, since I have you here, I was planning on at the meeting regarding this location, because I've also talked to the city recently about potential solution. Oh, did you? Okay. Potential solution while you're kind of in this process. So one possible solution, because I know Lisa was talking about the over for this parking lot, would be instead of trying to get a crosswalk directly from Concord. So where the little green man is the little green man that I've actually placed there. And he hasn't been stolen, so I'm really proud of our community. It's still going strong. But this is where the child was hit, and this is where a lot of the crossing goes because it goes directly into the park. My hope is that now that there is a hawk signal in place down here, instead of down here, maybe the kids will be more likely to go through that crossing. Because again, in our neighborhood in Glendale, the flashing yellow lights, in my experience, don't work, as well as an actual hawk where people have to stop. So the one option, instead of putting a crosswalk here, would be to put it, I think it's kind of like on the other side of the parking lot.
Yeah, so what we've talked about is kind of near the back of this property rather than right at the corner, but here. Because the way the parking lot is situated over here, one of the concerns as we look at this from a transportation perspective is the people that are parking more to this east end of that parking lot may not walk all the way to here. That may be enough difference to get them to use the crossing, so that we can potentially avoid another incident like the one that happened at Concord. That's one of the things that we look at as transportation officials is what does the whole area and the use of everything in that area look like? At the place the city has told us the parking here is overflow for this park. That's one of the things we need to look at as we're looking at the right placement for that crossing.
So I wanted to bring up that one and get feedback in a minute, but there's also, if we were to try to, as a community, push for the Concord Street crossing, we do have an issue that there is a left turn lane that goes into the neighborhood, and that would have to go away. So you would no longer be able to make a left turn. So a question is that an issue if we were to get rid of that? Would residents be upset if we got rid of that to put in a crosswalk? So if there's any feedback about that tonight, that would be great. And we can also take this back to the community and to residents on Concord and ask.
The best response is it's better to go to all of us one day. Yeah, I cannot see it there.
Yeah.
If you walk there by walk and see how it's like, that would be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
So the picture is not gonna make difference for me. So it's better because I live that side. So I can feel kids, my other neighbors, they just play there all the time. But now if we work together, I can call, that is that.
Yeah, and maybe we could set that up sometime to have. We've had city officials come out to this site specifically and talk with the public, and then later I've had
more of a one-on-one conversation here. But doing that along like Redwood Road, for example, would also be really great. And you're also definitely welcome.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, there was a study done on Redwood Road through the Safe Streets for All grant. And so we're working with the city right now to implement some of the things that came out of that study. I don't remember what all of them are, I'm sorry. But we have done a safety study along Redwood Road with that in mind. But certainly we could look at it some more. Go ahead.
Eva said it's on the far western end, right?
Yep, I'm here.
We have an issue on the far eastern end that is basically the Glendale Park parking lot, existing one, and new. And you've got at least 3 areas, about 4, that all want crossings in between. Has it ever been talked about? About having signals at both ends, and maybe they'll all be synchronized at one hit, they all shut down, and that whole area got temporarily closed just to keep that buffer. So, transportation perspective, it's awful. I get it.
It's actually not. That's actually one of the benefits of the what's called a hawk signal that this crossing is being upgraded to, is we can coordinate it with other signals. The flashing signals we can't. When the button is pushed, they start flashing. But a hawk signal, we actually can coordinate it with adjacent signals. And so, yes, there is potential for that. And that's one of the things I'm talking with the city about, because you have this existing crossing that's getting upgraded, wanting a crossing near Concord. There's the Jordan River Trail crossing just a little further east. Now tonight we've heard that there's a desire for a crossing to the west. Those are all very close together.
Right.
I won't. Yeah, I know you can't beat. But that whole zone feels like it's
And that certainly will be part of the conversation we're having with the city. But to your original point, yes, you can coordinate rights to do that. A hawk signal. So, sorry. I mean, you've probably seen them in other places in the city or maybe in the valley. But what they have is they have 2 red balls and a yellow ball underneath. So when the button gets triggered and it's the appropriate timing, if they are coordinated with adjacent signals, the red balls will start flashing, letting people know that they need to come to a stop. Sorry, they go solid. They go solid. 2 red balls go solid. And then when they start flashing, as long as there's nobody in the crosswalk and you're driving a vehicle, you're welcome to go, but you have to come to a stop first. So that's a hot.
One last question.
Yes.
Raymond, one at the river is a hot.
Oh,
Yeah. Yes. The one at the Jordan River is a hot bike. Any final question while we have UDOT here? I do. Actually, I do. We're not to my car and grab this night, but I do have some.
No, the Jordan Trail, like, automatically start flashing, like,
Some of
like, do the kids have to push the button, or like, what is that?
to activate a hot. I would say that one downside potentially of having to wait until all of the lights stop is that sometimes kids are not patient. And so that can be an issue, especially if if you have them all go at the same time, and then they have to have some period where they are where traffic can flow. That could potentially be an issue. So I see benefits either way. I would also say we don't have the map up anymore, but personal opinion is that because the kids are kids and that's an entrance right into the playground, having it at the entrance of the playground here is where a lot of the child traffic is flowing. I think people who have overflow parking to come here, somebody did the parking, so there's going to be an adult. So they should be able to follow the law and go cross and axle cross. That's personal. Personal. Um, so again, thank you for being here. I would say also, since we're here, they have the city has speed feedback trailers that are going to be on either side of that section, on and off every week through September. So you may have already seen them up, and I'm hopeful that that will help right now because we don't have anything that's permanent. That's at least something.
I'm sorry. This question just now jumped into my head. With some talks with the city, they have done this study on the street for that street to be resurfaced, and they find those opportunities to redraw the lines. In other words, do lane changes or whatever. And they had mentioned that, like, reduction of traffic or what have you could be potentially what they do. Does that also have to be approved through UDOT, and are you in talks with them about resurfacing and lane changes?
So yes, that would have to go through approval with UDOT if the final determination for 17th South is a tier 2. It would also require some additional study and engagement before a determination could be made. Lane reductions are not out of the question on a tier 2 roadway, but the study and engagement has to be done. The technical analysis, the traffic studies, all of that needs to be done. And while the city has done a study, they may not have done a study that's extensive as what we are going to require.
And we have a new park here, so
and you have a new park which changes traffic patterns both for pedestrians and vehicles. So,
and I will say I've heard that feedback from community residents also. Can we just have it, the 2-lane and the turning lane, which would just at least shorten the crossing distance for some of our kids.
So, crossing, the proposed crossing across section crosswalks. If it's placed in front of Concord or east of Concord, is there public engagement for that?
yes, that will be
great. Oh, okay.
Yes.
And when will that decision be determined? Will it be this year? Will it be next year? Do you have like a QR code or should
this location, we are trying to fast track this one. We probably won't have final decisions as they relate to the Senate bill till later in the year, but we are trying to fast track this one so a decision can be made sooner than that and the potential crossing moving into construction. But I don't have.
One more question.
Yeah. Was that Senate bill all about the state not liking the Salt Lake City schools? Yes. Okay. Control over the city because they don't like us slowing traffic down because people are getting them.
And Google was brought into it as an oversight group. It was something that was inspired to do.
You didn't lobby, but
we have a very good relationship with the city, and we have a lot of state rules within the city and have worked with the city for a lot of years. So the partnership going into this has been maintained as we have gone through this.
Thank you, Lisa, again. I really appreciate you coming in. West Side Coalition, I don't think West Side Coalition is wondering about the I-15 extension. So when you come to maybe.
Thank you.
So that doesn't have anything to do with this.
So I will grab some cards and table.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I really want to get to a really big issue that has come up for our community beginning this year with an RMF 30 rezone. So this is a hot topic. There are several factors that are going to go into creating additional housing in Glendale, smaller housing lots more houses and that kind of thing. So in the past several sessions, I've tried to get people to send feedback to the city regarding the expanding housing options feedback sessions. I want to get to that last after this next slide, which is the current more immediate rezone that's happening, which is R17,000 to RMF 30. So I think the Van Buren rezone is kind of what we're calling it. We've got, I think, I believe that 17th South is here. I may be wrong. And then going in, doing a couple turns, there are 3 parcels of land here. They are wanting to put, I think, 35 townhomes or something like that on this lot. Rezone the entire 3 parcels to this kind of different type of housing that's than what's seen in the surrounding neighborhood. So I know that there are a lot of people who are in this area that are not very happy about it. And we didn't have time to invite the applicants tonight, but we're going to have a special meeting on June 3rd, which is a Wednesday. It will be here at the Glendale Branch Library at 6:30 p.m. The applicant will be there. And Ben Buckley, who is the principal planner for this rezone application, will also be there. They'll give a presentation. I'm asking them to give some background on what exactly this is going to entail. We would like to get any comments or concerns to the city and to planning before this is taken to the city council to vote on. So it's very important if you're able to contact, we can contact Benjamin Buckley. There's places to submit comments online. Feel free to come to me if you would like to submit a comment through me. I do, yeah.
When is that city council vote?
The vote, I think, is the 24th or 26th of June. Yeah, so it's a couple weeks after June 3rd, I believe. So hopefully this gives time to get the word out, to get home, to kind of understand what's going on, and then think about it, get feedback. I think that's it. Are there any questions?
Why do they call it Van Buren?
Van Buren is the name of the
street. But you say that you say 35 house.
I think it's 35 townhomes.
What kind of townhome is like 2 rooms or 5 rooms?
Yeah, I don't know. What's that? Yeah, you'll have to. Yeah, there's also so if you go online, they're on the planning website, and I think we can post it on our website as well if you have a link to get there. There's a longer proposal that goes over a lot more detail.
Yeah, what they're building now is just 2 rooms out there.
Yeah.
And the dog, that's the problem. Much families.
Yeah.
9, 7, 8, 10, and then they just do the only. That's the problem.
Yeah, so I did actually meet with Alejandro Puy, who is our District 2 representative, about this specific issue, which is getting housing options that are affordable for the residents who live here and conducive to the residents who live here, which we have a lot of multifamily homes. We have a lot of some older and younger generations all mixed in. So 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom is not cutting it for the people who are currently here. And when it does cut it, it's often prohibitively expensive. So I'll talk about that in a minute when we do expanding housing.
Well, this isn't a tier 1 or tier 2 street. It's also very, this isn't West 17th South.
Yeah, it's a tier 4, so it's a tiny residential street.
Yeah.
I drove past the other week. You have to, you go like 15 miles an hour, just doing some weird curves. Things don't even line up in the street to get to this area. I don't want to be too opinionated, but I don't think this is a good use of the land. I do understand that there is going to be infill because Glendale has a lot of land that people would love to build on to be able to be close to proximity to Salt Lake City. So any other questions on this specific rezone? Okay. I'm going to go back to the other slide. So there's also, so Turner, the previous chair, has been working on a project that's called, working with the city on a project that's called Expanding Housing Options. And they've had a couple of open houses. I've had a few concerns. And if anybody knows what this is, or if they have reviewed it and they have any feedback, I have the opportunity to provide a letter of support for this plan, either through Glendale Neighborhood Council writing a letter of support. We're also, the West Side Coalition is considering a letter of support for this project. Some of my big concerns are you do not have to have owner occupancy on the property in order to do development, which I'm concerned that properties are going to be bought up by developers and they're just going to put as many small houses onto the property as possible. And it's just a way for them to get around a rezone through the city to do something similar. There might be some other things too. One of the things is they are considering that it would potentially bring the cost of housing down. But if you've got one parcel of land and two houses on it, I am not sure how that works. If you have to sell both homes in order to sell the parcel, and I don't know that those questions have necessarily been answered for me satisfactorily. So we have some options. If you have any, if you can think of any other option, I've considered no letter, just not mentioning anything. I could write a letter against it. I can find reasons to write a letter against it. I can find reasons to write a letter for it. I can also give a letter for it with stipulation, such as we want to also have the city promise to give us larger bedroom housing that people here can afford, some kind of, grants or low interest loan or something, so that people who are here can stay here and not be kicked out or be incentivized to leave the neighborhood because the developer is offering a lot of money for their property. I love Glendale the way it is. I think our diversity is one of the most awesome things about Glendale, and I want to keep the people here who have been here, for years and years, since redlining. So, I think if anybody has another option, feel free to tell me.
Fuller is doing wonderful jobs. I see what it's doing. So if it's getting something from the city, maybe we should write a letter supporting him, because like more houses and the family can fit. Because right now I'm living like 4 rooms the last 2 years on this Modesto. And then I tried to buy the house, and then the owner was giving me a hard time to find anything. And then the marketplace was like 448. It's okay for me, but we didn't agree to us, and then I just out. I started had a time, so I went to from 4 to 3 down.
Yeah.
I just moved to 3 rooms as temporary, and then I had a lot of stuff. Some of them I took to the car. So, and that's the problem. I wish I could win lottery today. Then I tried to buy schools, hospitals.
Yeah.
Just people, they have money, but they don't want to spend their money.
Abdurjak is a prime example of not being represented or represented. He's not being seen by the city, who is focused on the entire city and creating housing for the entire city and people who work outside who would like to live in the city. Glendale has our own issues and our own needs. So I told the West Side Coalition that I would take a poll of any residents who are in Glendale. I'm just going to do a tally So, and I'll do these four, and you can tell me what you would like to vote on. If I do a letter for with stipulations, I could also do a letter against with stipulations, saying that we don't appreciate this, and we also, we feel that this is not helping us.
What is your opinion, Jennifer?
I know that it's going to happen no matter what. The city is going to put housing here. I don't feel that it's in Glendale's interest to have anything here. There's no reason for us to support it unless it's going to beneficially impact Glendale residents. And there is also an argument that when we have more people here who have more money and have more resources to talk to the city, that maybe we can get more resources in Glendale, like a grocery store, or a coffee shop, and that kind of. So there are options for this, or I could just say that I'm no comment. So if you live in Glendale, if you would like me to write no letter, raise your hand. I see no hands. A letter against, raise your hand. A letter for, raise your hand. And a letter for with stipulations. Okay.
What are the stipulations?
So part of my you already know. So part of it would be to have the city agree to give us something. Lower interest rate loans, maybe, for some of this new housing, setting aside a number of new houses for current residents who want to upgrade or downgrade. There are many things that we could ask for. So if you have any ideas, go ahead and bring them to me.
Idea maybe kind of a preferential period for West Side residents to be able to purchase a house, so giving options to West Side residents first before then opening it up to the entire market. I don't know if they can do that.
There's deed restrictions that people can put, and I mean they're codifying it, so I think they have some leeway. I don't know exactly what we do.
It's thinking larger, larger homes with more bedrooms than you have, where just you and your kids sleep in it. So
yes, and then I looked at the census Glendale. I've seen the makeup of a lot of people here, and that is one of the things that we're very unique in all of Salt Lake City.
Owner occupied.
Yeah.
yes. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking too, because watching people on 9th West, everybody is there. 9th West and 17th South is getting very full with cars.
I've seen it where cities are giving approvals for parks with no parking at all. We're one of them. Stop. So.
That 8th South, there's a permit that doesn't have,
The difficulty is every property's gonna cost $40,000.
Yeah.
So if the average unit's costing $400,000 to build even a family, you're adding that on top of it. It just makes it worse to some extent. I think one stipulation, we looked at the rezone a decade ago, Billy. We did the nodes, remember that?
Yeah.
And so they looked at the nodes around to 9th West, major I2 rule, and said, these are places where you could rezone for higher density without going into the interior. Because we'll see a lot more of the slot canyon. So, you've got two sets of apartments going into a narrow lot facing each other to get a number of units in there. I don't like mistakes personally, but I get the reality that you're going to replace one home with 4 bedrooms with 20 different units, right? So it might be useful to talk through the low 9s and middles. So that's what they do that. It's
Yeah. Part of parking also is that Glendale does not have a very robust public transportation uh, system. We have 3 bus lines. They don't go all through the neighborhood. I think the 9 line is probably our best bet. And we need parking. So for the census, I think about 90% of working families or working people in Glendale drive to work. Part of the work that we do is blue collar work, and you need a truck. You need to be able to drive across the valley to get to a job. The other 10% are at home. So we have essentially nobody taking public transport, which makes sense. So one other stipulation could be give us additional public transport if we're going to have parking taken away or not have it.
It makes sense. We're going to add more density, more public transportation. Yeah.
And Jennifer, no grocery store in Glendale. Is that something we can put in the stipulation? Like, can the city address that, or is that like a private business thing?
They took it away. There we go.
New York City's doing a city grocery store chain. It's going to turn out for that, but that's just in case that it's run by the city. City's going to step in a grocery store. I'm intrigued to see how it looks. What it looks like with people.
Yeah. And again, also this is going to happen whether or not we. I think this is the one of those sides. I think it's like the third side. There's another reason that they want to do on California that's coming up right here. So this is on California. They want to make it's similar form-based urban. It's not RMF 30. I don't really know the difference, but so all of this additional density is coming, whether or not we support it, but we can make our voices heard and bring up concerns.
We can do a lot like on California on the other side. And they have like a historic building or a building is right there. Is that part of the concern as well?
I mean,
Overshadowing the neighborhoods.
Yeah, I mean, this one is saying, oh, it can be between out trees, just like surrounding houses, but all of the houses near the California. California and what? California and yeah, it's closer to Redwood, 1469 West.
I was concerned about the scale. Being the form-based stuff with setbacks and step out. You can't go right to the property stories or overshadowing and stuff. Might be helpful as well to ask them how that works in this. If it does. Because if you have density either way, the density less.
Yeah, I've also I talked to Corey about that today. The missing middle stuff. It's too much. We've got all of these single family homes and then these round boxes that they don't fit the aesthetic, whatever. But we don't really have the capacity to serve so much housing. And I think it would be better if it was a stepwise implementation of maybe an R2 where you have like a duplex or something like that, and gradually increments as we increment the network architecture, the ability for us to sustain all of this with something like a grocery store, maybe a coffee shop, a school. So.
I think stating out is kind of what we're talking about, just kind of more clarity, like comprehensive zoning. Yeah. In other words, some of those nodes that make sense to have multi-purpose or multifamily housing, like what Andrew was talking about, to sort of improve. We do need more housing. Multi-family housing makes sense in every community. It's too bad some communities on the east side lose their minds when you even propose one, but we have plenty here now. But and the quality of the housing as well. Like there's been incidences like the Blue Barn that's over behind Little Caesars, where they use the cheapest material, do it fast and cheap. It's a big eyesore. And then there's zero parking in an area that already has the need for more parking, right? So just something in a sense more comprehensive in respect to that. Not necessarily that that's not a good place for multi-family or whatnot. I don't know, but the neighbors are pretty.
Yeah, they took that in.
Yeah.
They built that one right up to the street too.
Yeah.
So I right up to the
From
street.
the neighborhood and get everyone to sign, like, how do we get people riled up about this? I think we've had some neighbors, I think one of them left, but some neighbors that are upset about the specific reason they're saying that they're gonna be showing up, even if they can make it today, showing up on the third. And
The only other dynamic here. So it's hard for us to provide what way.
Most people think it is. Most people think it's demo set.
At least that's in the city as far as tax. Changing with Redwood Road getting more. Multifamily. It is changing a bit, but sometimes that's a counter argument to us.
Don't say that outside of Glendale.
You have the most green space. You saying your state.
I agree to move on to say. So, one thing that you can do if you are upset about any reason and you want to, or if you just want to see what's going on, you can go to the Planning Commission's website and they have agendas and notices for upcoming meetings. Can we go through real quick whatever is left? Oh, that's right. Come talk. Yeah. Yeah, that too. Both of you. Yeah.
Good evening, friends. My name is Alicia. I am your community liaison to the mayor's office, and we are in budget season. I came tonight. We have a full schedule, so I just want to give you just the most important points for the budget. So the mayor has proposed an increase in property tax rates. There's also going to be the proposal also includes an increase on your public utility bills. There's an opportunity for you to participate in a public hearing. You're also able to provide your feedback, your thoughts, your questions, concerns about the budget to the mayor, to city council. I have business cards here where you can provide your opinion, any feedback to city council. So the second public hearing, the first one took place this Tuesday at 7 p.m. And the next public hearing that you can attend in person will be June 2nd at 7 p.m. and City County Building, 3rd floor. Now, the mayor's staff and also the finance department from the city will be present at 6 p.m. in City Hall for you to come and engage, talk about the budget, give your feedback, ask all kinds of questions. Also, I have a PowerPoint where it has about 15 slides where it has all the breakdown of all the proposed increase tax rates and all that, property tax increase rates. So if you want a copy of it, I can send you an email with that attachment. Please also take one of these business cards because it's the Shape SLC's information hub where all kinds of city projects are being place for you to give your input, for you to be involved, for you to be informed of what's going on in the city. But they also have a survey on the budget. So there's all kinds of links. There's all kinds of ways for you to participate in person. That's a quick snapshot. I am so sorry that I didn't have more time to be more specific about things. But if you have more concerns, I will be here until the end of the meeting. And that's it. Yeah.
Second, right?
June 2nd, it's, yeah. Oh, great. Oh, great.
I go every night, every day.
Oh, fantastic.
I just want to make sure I know.
You ready, or do you want me to? I have plenty to talk about if you. So, this is Detective Hall. Detective work.
Sure.
Any questions, concerns that you've seen in your neighborhood that you need to put out there? Fantastic, because that's what our numbers are showing too. So that's the good thing. Great. So if there are any questions, let me just go through some quick numbers. The numbers are looking really good, and my computer, I'm at that age where I have to get some glasses, so I'm just pushing it off. For the last, so usually in the 3-year average, we've seen about 23.3 or 28.3 violent crimes in the Glendale area. This month we saw 7. So we are seeing a pretty good decrease in violent crimes in the area. Yeah, just per month. So, and when I look at the Glendale numbers for last month, because we're not caught up into this month yet, so we're looking at all of last month, we saw 7 violent crimes. So that's a decrease, which is great. We're seeing that kind of trend across the city. For nonviolent crimes, we usually are seeing about 68 per month in the Glendale area. We saw 38, so we're again down a little bit in those crimes.
Can you give an idea what fits within those two categories? Larger amounts.
Yeah, so their violent offenses are criminal homicides, rape. I mean, these are violent. These are GFB average, right? Rape, robberies of business or robberies, personal robberies, aggravated assaults or aggravated assaults, domestic violence, and then so those are our violent offenses that we see. Those are FBI tracked.
Is there a seasonality to it?
Yes, it can be in the summer. There's a pretty good seasonality. Once it gets warmer, it kind of goes up. But also some of those will go up in the winter, depending on. I mean, COVID, we saw a lot of increases in domestic violence issues. Right. So it can be seasonal.
Domestic, like the highest in that violent.
This month we saw it tied with with aggravated assault. So there were just 3 in the Glendale area. If we jump out to the city, it's a lot more. But in the Glendale area, it's 3 aggravated assaults and 3 non-aggravated assaults, or 3 domestic violence assaults, sorry, and 3 non-domestic violence.
So are these crimes between people that know each other, or are they between strangers? Like some guy comes and.
So the domestic isn't they have to know each other. Yeah. So if it's it can still be a friendship relationship and be considered a non-domestic, but it can't be somebody that's lived with somebody else or something like that. To that aspect. So it can be a stranger assault or a known entity assault.
Are the people that commit the crimes, are they local or they come from outside?
I don't have the breakdown on here, but I do have a breakdown of like our top 50 users, I guess is what we could say. Just so the number one user of repeat offender has been issued 30 misdemeanor citations and booked into jail 4 times this year. So that's the number one. Yeah, that's the number one. Okay, so and they're local. So they are local. So we do have a ton of repeat offenders. We have a top 50 list that we're working with.
People trail or something.
Some can be. Yeah, a lot of our repeat offenders are that, or drug users, or other issues like that. But yeah.
Is that a pretty high percentage of what's being dealt with?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. The good news though is just with the chief, and I apologize. The chief honestly didn't know he was coming tonight, so I'm kind of glad. I would be really shocked when I walked in the door. So I will be aware next month when he comes. But the chief has made a lot of good strides, and you should really meet with him and talk to him next month. He is fantastic, and he's getting Salt Lake City back on the location or where it should be, as far as crime goes. So any question? Oh, yeah. Whoever. Oh, no, you. Go ahead.
Thank you. The only thing always I'm just concerning living on the west side. The people living on the west side, the refugees and immigrants. Sometimes, when I call like police or 911, I'm not against anybody, but if we have some people from other, Africans, Latinos, to work as a police officer on the west side, that would be really awesome because what I tired, and even I remember that I was living in Modesto, and there was a police came to my house and they want civilian, and then they knocked very hard to my door, saying that there was so the civilian guy was saying that, so you guys somebody stole iPad or earbud, I don't know. And then they said it's gonna be inside the house. And then the area I live, there's homeless people walking. And then I stopped it. They screamed the windows, knocked the door. And then I just feels very, very not sad, but very hungry, very. And then somehow the guy was saying that the civilian, it was 4 hours ago. People walking on the street, they said, 4 hours ago, how are you gonna say that, it's gonna be inside the house? I think I told them the police come inside the house. Because they never came somehow, I got the information. And then I called Jim Brown and his deputy. They came to my office, discussed. But the things, what I really wanted from police, the solid police, to hire more people from the people who look like me. So 100%. I don't want to trust nobody, just because I'm coming to the, you know what I'm coming from. So we just need more people to stand.
We do have a pretty
Yeah.
we do have a pretty diverse hiring groups right now. We have 3 classes in session right now, and it's pretty diverse.
Yeah, I
So,
just want to see my people,
yeah.
So,
Yeah, if you look on the west side, we bid on our areas. So if you're a brand new officer to the area, you don't get to necessarily bid where you want to go. So some officers that have been here a long time will bid west side. Some new officers that maybe want to be on the west side can't necessarily bid on the west side. So it's a bid process. But yeah, I understand completely what you mean.
Living since 19.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a great thing to bring up to chief next month.
Oh, I spoke to him, but it's okay. But
Yeah.
Well, as I think through this, as I think through the people that we deal with that come into our CRC, and anybody that is there some class that we can hold that we could, in other words, if you do these things, you're less likely to get in, like, I.e., the simple thing is don't leave your door unlocked. Are there things that we can do that we can teach our people, our kids, or whatever, that would help us reduce the possibility of the crimes happening?
And if you want to reach, I'll give you my card too, and if you want to reach out to someone from the police department, I'd be happy to come down and
because I was talking about what you can do to make that decision to stay out of drugs.
Yeah.
And what can we do? What can we teach the people to avoid being involved in it?
Yeah, absolutely. I can get you a good contact for
That would be great.
who we teach or who teaches that through our police department.
Because then we could bring them and we could come and do a class on that CRC, and people could say, well, if we do these things, or you can never guarantee it'll never happen, but it's just there's some things you do to avoid.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll get your card.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, we'll just keep trending it down. If you do see something, 911. If it's an emergency, 799-3000. If it's not an emergency, you have my cell phone. I think it's through Glendale. Yeah. Sure.
Jogging, I saw the highway patrol sitting on the trail.
Oh, why is that on park this morning too?
Yeah.
Sitting on the rock.
So they, well, right, but we are working with state organizations a lot. So you might even see DNR, Division of Natural Resource Police Officers on the trail. So you'll see just a bunch of different people that have that want to help out here. So a lot of the state facilities will have their own to patrol those areas, but they are helping us out a ton.
Yeah.
Well, there's multiple classes. Yeah. Oh, well, then you need to call me and I'll find out what's going on. Yeah. 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 So if they're rude to you, please.
Hey, thanks for being there. I give it to you. So much.
Thank you. This is the west side's the best side, right? And I really like. Oh, I don't worry about it, but I really like this west side shirt.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I really apologize. I was really hoping that we could keep it to 8:30, and again we've gone over. And I have just a couple of emergent things that can't wait for another meeting. One is that there is it's a Pan-African West Side Salt Lake Co-op pre-apprenticeship program. It is going on. It's starting on May 30th. You can, sorry, this is, I took a picture of it because I couldn't get it online in time. QR code to register. It's something like a 5-week program, something like that.
Good job.
So, I think there's multiple potential areas, something like this. So if you go to the entire program, you have the potential to then get a job that's paying. So during the program, it would be $18 to $21 an hour, and then after 22 to 30 or something. But I want to make sure that this is out to the public, and I think Abdurshak may know more about it. So if you have questions, ask him. There's also, if you go up one, there is an Asian festival on the 6th, and that's going to be at the State Fair Park. You can look at their website, utahasianfestival.org. And then also, if you want to scroll down to what's the June meeting, while she's doing that, I have heard from some in the community that they would like for me to write a letter opposing the potential detention center that is they were talking about putting on the west side. So I am planning to write a letter and have it signed from the Glendale neighborhood council. If you have any questions or want to give any input, go ahead, reach out to me tonight after the meeting, email, whatever. Also, we've discussed writing a letter opposing water use for the data center, the wonderful data center that is on the north side, the Stratos, on the north side of the lake. So I'm also planning to file a what is it? Was a protest. So I was planning to file a protest. If you are opposed to that, or if you want to talk about it, anything like that, reach out to me after the meeting. Next month, June, we have a joint meeting with Poplar Grove. So we'll be twice as big, twice as much fun. We are going to have Salt Lake City Arts Council come out. Avanza is a radio station, putting out Little Streets. And then Chief Red is rescheduling for this meeting as well. And so we'll have also extra refreshments and some, meet and greet so we can reach out to our Poplar Grove neighbors more. And thank you all for staying. We're so late. And if you want to review any of this, it will be on our YouTube channel. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.